Abraham was born 1948 from creation, from Adam, in a state of menstruation. His mom was in a state of menstruation, which itself is a very, very strong level of unholiness. He was born to a father who was the high priest of all the idols. So too the state of Israel. He was born in such a state of impurity and idolatry. Abraham breaks out. Israel is breaking out. Abraham finds God. Israel finds God. You could look at the timeline and see some interesting things that happen. I want to show you. And then I have a 7-minute clip from my Facebook. Abraham is born in 1948. Until 2023, he settles in Canaan. 2034, Ishmael is born. In 2048, Abraham circumcised himself and Ishmael. Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed, and Isaac is born. The state of Israel turns 100. Abraham is 100. In 2238, Jacob and his family went to Egypt. The next year is the year 6000, the end of our calendar, and the beginning of the Messianic age. Okay, so today we're here with a very, very, very special guest who's going to be taking questions from the audience. Okay, so our first question for the audience is Jewish or Israeli? Jewish or Israeli? So now, the chief rabbi of the Sanhedrin, in charge of all the smicha of all the rabbis in Lakewood today, Rebbitzin Cat, Rebbitzin Pussy. Rebbitzin Pussy would like to explain to you the difference between an Israeli and a Jew. Meow. Rebbitzin Pussy, can you explain to us the difference exactly between a Jew and an Israeli, or no? Or no? Avigdor Lieberman, who's one of the puppets that work for the Israeli deep state, you know, the Jewish Illuminati, he posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, he posted, there's nothing Israeli about dodging the draft. You know what my response is? We're Jews, not Israelis. We're not Israelis, we're Jews. Rebbitzin Pussy agrees with me. Rebbitzin Pussy says, we're Jews, we're not Israelis. We're Jews, we're not Israelis. What's the difference? Well, first of all, do you know the difference between like a Jew and a non-Jew? An Ashkenazi Jew versus a Sephardi Jew, you know, like gefilte fish. Is gefilte fish Jewish or Israeli? Well, listen, it's definitely not Israeli, because in Israel you have Israelis that are full Israelis with rights and citizenships. They can become judges, they do, and cops and chief of police and everything, that are not Jews. So you have Israelis serving in all levels of government and everything, and doing all kinds of things in Israel. They're not Jewish, but they are Israeli, like Muslims, like Bedouins, like all kinds of things. I don't know what that violence was. I said Muslims and Bedouins, and she fucking scratched me, bro. Bad pussy. Bad pussy. Bad pussy. Okay? Anyways, Rebbitzin Pussy is off the derech. Rebbitzin Pussy can go fuck herself. Sit in the corner, be ashamed. Gefilte fish, bro. You tell me, is gefilte fish Jewish or Israeli? It's definitely not Israeli, because if you go up to this Pakistani judge who's sitting in the High Court of Israel, let's just say, who happens to be there, but he's not Jewish, but he's Israeli, because, like, that's the way Israel works. It's a liberal democracy. It's not a constant, whatever. It's not a fucking, yeah, it's not a kingdom of God. It's not a kingdom. It's a fucking liberal democracy, at least on paper. So anyone can be a citizen of this state, pretty much. I mean, especially if you hate God. If you hate God, you for sure can become a citizen of the state. I think that's the first question they ask. But again, we're just trying to talk about the difference. So if I say, is gefilte fish Jewish or is gefilte fish Israeli? If you're going to tell me that gefilte fish is Israeli, I mean, you have obviously no knowledge of or expertise in the issue. Gefilte fish is definitely not Israeli. The Pakistani judge of the High Court, who's not even Jewish, has no connection, no shaykhis, as we say, to gefilte fish. Never in his lineage has anyone who shares DNA with him ever even tasted gefilte fish. He has no connection to gefilte fish. So gefilte fish is obviously Jewish but not Israeli, right? And not Israeli. Jewish and not Israeli. There's a side question here. Is it Ashkenazi or Sephardi? Okay. Right, because you can ask a Sephardi Jew and he would also have no connection to gefilte fish. It was more of a European thing, you know? Ashkenazi Jews. Okay, fine, fair enough. The point remains, though, there's a difference between Israeli and Jewish. You can see that with the gefilte fish pretty clearly. Okay, so let's take it to another issue. Forget is gefilte fish Jewish or Israeli? What about us? Are we Jewish or Israeli? Like I said, Mr. Lieberman, puppet for the Zionists, tweets, there's nothing Israeli about dodging the draft. Okay, I'm not Israeli. And even if there are Jews that are Israeli, their primary identity should be as a Jew, not as an Israeli. As an Israeli has nothing to do with Judaism, because there's many of people who can say as an Israeli and they're not Jewish. There are probably half the people living in the land of Israel with citizenship from the state of Israel are not even Jews. Some of them claim they're Jews, some claim they're not, some don't know. But half of them aren't Jews. Half of them are Arabs, Russians, Pakistanis, Indians, people from all over the world, freaking Chinese people, bro. And I'm telling you, they don't get discriminated against. They have a good life. They reach levels of government in the highest positions. As long as they're not Sephardic Jews. You know, if they're Arab, it's fine. But if they're Jewish Arabs, it's forbidden. Because as much as we hate the Arabs, we tolerate them. But Jewish Arabs, we hate even more. In Israel, Israel hates Sephardic Jews, Arabic Jews, like Jews that were like for 2,000 years in like an Arabic country. In Israel, we hate them. We hate them. Not me. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Jews hate other Jews. I'm saying Israel hates Arabic descended Jews. Jews that come from Arabic descent are second rate in Israel. So again, are we Jewish or Israeli, bro? Obviously, the gefilte fish is Jewish. Obviously, we are Jewish. We're not Israeli, bro. Israelis take all the vaccines, lock down all the holy sites during Corona. Israelis, conspire with world governments to lock us down and murder us and pull off assassinations. That's Israeli, bro. Are we Israeli or are we Jewish? Jewish means we come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're doing our best just to, give domain to God. And we're apolitical, more or less. We really just want to live with God, Shabbos. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good Shabbos.